Hello everyone. What if I told you that the biggest reason you're not succeeding isn't because you've failed, it's because you're afraid to fail again. Failure has stopped more dreams than lack of talent ever will. Today, you're going to discover why your greatest setback could become the greatest turning point of your life. Nobody likes to fail. It hurts. It embarrasses you. It makes you question yourself. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every champion has lost. Every entrepreneur has gone broke. Every inventor has been told they were wrong. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has stood exactly where you are, discouraged, exhausted, and wondering if they should give up. The difference is that they refuse to let one moment define the rest of their lives. Today, it's your turn to make that decision. The world has taught us to fear failure from the moment we were children. We were praised for perfect grades, rewarded for getting the right answers, and quietly made to believe that making mistakes meant we weren't good enough. Over time, that belief became part of our identity. We stopped seeing failure as an event and started seeing it as proof that something was wrong with us. So instead of chasing our biggest dreams, we chose the safer path. We stayed inside our comfort zones because comfort guaranteed one thing: it protected us from embarrassment, but it also protected us from growth. Every dream worth chasing demands that you risk looking foolish before you ever look successful. If you spend your entire life trying to avoid failure, you'll also avoid the very experiences that could transform your future. Failure has a strange way of revealing who you really are. When everything is going well, confidence is easy. Discipline is easy. Hope is easy. But when life knocks you down, when your plans fall apart, when the people you trusted walk away, when you give everything you have and still come up short, that is the moment your character is tested. Those moments force you to answer a question that no one else can answer for you. Will this experience become the reason you quit or the reason you become stronger? Every person faces that crossroads. Some people allow failure to become their identity. Others allow it to become their education. The event is the same. The outcome depends entirely on the decision they make afterward. Think about the strongest people you've ever met. Chances are they didn't become strong because life was easy. They became strong because life demanded more from them than they thought they could give. Every setback forced them to grow. Every disappointment taught them resilience. Every rejection sharpened their determination. They didn't become successful because they avoided failure. They became successful because they learned something every single time they failed. While everyone else was asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they asked a better question: "What is this trying to teach me?" That single question changes everything because it transforms pain into wisdom and setbacks into stepping stones. The truth is that failure is never the final chapter unless you decide to close the book. Every ending carries the possibility of a new beginning. Every closed door forces you to search for another one. Every mistake teaches you something that success never could. Success often hides your weaknesses because everything seems to be working. Failure exposes them. It shows you where you need to improve. It strips away arrogance. It replaces assumptions with experience. It teaches patience, humility, persistence, and courage. Those qualities cannot be bought. They cannot be inherited. They are earned only by those who refuse to stop after life tells them no. Most people see failure as evidence that they should lower their dreams. But what if failure is actually evidence that your dream is worth fighting for? No mountain climber reaches the summit without slipping. No athlete wins every competition. No great leader avoids criticism. The people you admire most are not the people who never fell. They are the people who stood up one more time than life knocked them down. Their greatness was never found in perfection. It was found in persistence. There comes a moment in every person's life when they have two choices. They can allow failure to convince them that they are not enough, or they can decide that failure is simply part of becoming the person they were meant to be. That decision changes everything. The people who change the world are not fearless. They are simply unwilling to let fear have the final word. They understand that confidence is not built by winning every battle. Confidence is built by surviving the battles you thought would destroy you. Every time you refuse to quit after disappointment, you prove something to yourself that no compliment from another person could ever prove. You discover that you are stronger than your circumstances. You discover that pain can shape you instead of breaking you. You discover that resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you earn every single time you choose to rise again. Never compare your failures to someone else's success. You are comparing two completely different chapters. What you see is their victory, but what you don't see are the years of rejection, sleepless nights, sacrifices, uncertainty, and countless moments when they questioned everything. Every successful person has a story that most people never hear. Behind every achievement is a collection of failures that became lessons instead of excuses. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary people is rarely talent. It is perspective. Ordinary people see failure as proof that they should stop. Extraordinary people see failure as information. They adjust, improve, learn, and keep moving. They understand that every mistake carries a lesson, and every lesson brings them one step closer to mastery. The greatest failure in life is not losing. It is refusing to try because you are afraid of losing. Imagine reaching the end of your life and looking back, not with memories of bold attempts, but with questions that can never be answered. What if I had started that business? What if I had written that book? What if I had chased that dream? What if I had believed in myself just a little longer? Regret is heavier than failure because failure eventually fades into experience. But regret stays with you as a reminder of the life you never gave yourself permission to live. Don't carry that weight. Give yourself permission to fail, because every meaningful dream requires courage before it rewards success. Remember this: every sunrise is another opportunity to begin again. Yesterday's mistakes do not have the authority to decide today's actions unless you surrender that authority. You are not defined by the job you lost, the exam you failed, the relationship that ended, the business that collapsed, or the opportunity that slipped away. You are defined by what you choose to do next. Every morning life asks the same question: will you get up again? Answer that question with your actions, not your words. Stand up when it's difficult. Keep moving when progress is slow. Believe in yourself when nobody else does. One day you'll realize that the failures you once hated were quietly preparing you for the success you could never have handled without them. If you remember only one thing from this message, remember this: failure is an event, not an identity. You failed at something. That does not mean you are a failure. The moment you stop allowing one setback to define your future, you take back your power. Your greatest breakthrough may be hiding behind the obstacle you're ready to walk away from today. So refuse to quit. Refuse to let disappointment write the final chapter of your story. Stand up one more time. Fight one more round. Believe one more day. Because history is never written by the people who never failed. It is written by the people who refuse to stay down. Your story is not over. In many ways, it is only beginning. Thank you for watching. If this message inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more powerful motivational and inspirational speeches. Keep believing, keep fighting, and never let failure become bigger than your purpose. Be better every day.